Nationwide protest breaks out against Justin Trudeau's new carbon tax, and boy, do things get heated. Stick around. We're going to get right into it right now.
Oh, yeah!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Fringe. The Fringe we are indeed, as many people heading to the streets to protest over Justin Trudeau's raise in the carbon tax and the trampling down upon people, figuratively and physically, it seems, for not only not being able to afford to live in this country, but also for speaking out. Now, Justin Trudeau, of course, has said multiple times, especially over his press conference while at schools, that, hey, people have the right to protest in this country. Of course, he was talking about other protests, and we're going to get into that later in this video. But just a quick reminder before we get into things, ladies and gentlemen, we're quickly approaching 30,000 subscribers here on the channel. If you're enjoying this content, shadow bans are huge on YouTube right now for people talking about political videos. So make sure to give a thumbs up and a comment. It helps get us out there in the algorithm so that other people that are interested in this type of material are told, hey, go and watch this. People are enjoying it. Helps the channel. And your subscription, of course, helps our large Fringe majority grow, and you're informed every time new videos are dropped. But with that, we have a very lengthy video here, folks. Let's get into this national carbon tax protest. Now, some of the organizers reached out to me prior to this protest, and of course, the problem with bringing people on to talk about these things before they happen is, of course, with Justin Trudeau's new laws in the country, well, you'd hate to be cited with encouraging a protest. The problem in this country is people have had enough when it comes to protesting, and I've got a lot to show you guys. So again, buckle up, stick around, because there's a little hypocrisy to this protesting that we're going to talk about. But let's jump right into it. Let's not waste any time. Good old friend of the channel, Daisy Media, coming out, showing the protests over in Ottawa. Now, again, the pleb was out live streaming, I believe, during this protest. In fact, I think this is him in the corner of this video. I could be wrong. Now, of course, Dacey's out there on the streets in front of Parliament Hill, talking about Dina Sharif. Now, if you don't know who Dina Sharif is, she's a very loud, very off-center individual, we'll say, if I could put it in the nicest way possible. She drags her daughter around with her to all of her protests. She's been caught in videos cussing and swearing in front of her kids at people talking about their rights in this country. She's admitted openly to being paid by Justin Trudeau in order to go to these protests. Now, the last time I'd seen Dina Sharif, she was arrested on Parliament Hill, and as far as I know, she was banned from Parliament Hill for up to, I think it was up to a year or a couple of years, but yet here she is on Wellington, right in front of the gates of Parliament Hill. So I don't know if that ban has been lifted, or if that ban's only in effect if she crosses the fence here. Again, if somebody knows any information on this, because I don't seem to see anybody talking on Twitter about it, let me know in the comments down below. But let's take a look as Dacey saying, is this not assault? Dina Sharif is accosting people with an electronic whistle. These whistles are loud enough to cause hearing damage. Ottawa police have witnessed this firsthand, but seem to be unable or unwilling to intervene. And again, this is going to be, the theme of this video is going to be the hypocrisy of the police and how they're just unwilling to do their job. So again, stick around till the very end, folks. There's going to be lots to see here, lots to take in. Again, adjust your volume if this whistle is too loud. I've tried to lower the volume as much as I can so that you can still hear what's going on. But let's jump into it. Again, also, coarse language warning. There may be some in or around these videos. I haven't heard all of them to their full extent, so let's jump in.
That's an assault whistle. That's an assault whistle. That's an assault whistle.
And you have no business. Back to
I'm being assaulted by a crazy Karen.
So Deanna behind us is using assault whistles, blasting them in people's faces. I guess that's going to be allowed. Okay, are you kidding me here?
Yes, it is.
She has blasted that in our ears multiple times.
No, I handed you my phone. We are here on the land of the free, or so it's supposed to be. But yet we can't even report crimes against humanity. Because
So is that above board then?
to protect us aren't doing their job. We're paying for them to go across different countries.
Yeah, the police just nonchalantly walking away. Yes, that was the pleb. There's so many clips here. I couldn't keep track of one of them had the pleb in there. But yeah, check out his live streams. I'm sure he'll have it. Again, that very loud whistle. And you see her with her daughter. Here's another video. I'm not going to play the audio because it's only 21 seconds. But you see here, again, she's actually given the whistle to her daughter. This is endangering a minor because if this is in fact an assault style weapon and she is causing harm to people, this woman is now putting her child, oh, there's the old BC salute, as I've been told. This is actually putting your child in danger of receiving charges for assaulting somebody. That's neglect. As far as I'm concerned, maybe I'm being a snowflake. I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below, but I don't agree with this. I've said it in other videos. Keep the kids out of this. Kids should have a right to choose their politics on their own. I've been a very firm stander behind that. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. And of course, the police doing nothing. Nothing. Well, unless, of course, you're protesting in Alberta. In which case, the disgraced RCMP and police, well, they'll just do anything they're told to by their thugs up in their ivory towers. Now, this video clip, I do believe this is an older video, but people were posting it on X alongside the actual protest videos that are going on. So again, this is speculation. I believe this was an older video. If it's not, my apologies. But here we go. Police assaulting and ticketing those who were peacefully praying in the Calgary Municipal Building.
I'm just wondering why excuse me, physical violence, what's that?
All on video.
Offenses, you have been trespassed for 30 days for refusing to leave and holding a religious event inside the municipal complex without a permit. There's been process at the back.
I
There you go.
don't.
Matthew Tucker, you've been given 30 days.
Hi.
Without a permit and refusing to leave. 30 days trespass. If you notice it there. Thank you.
So spontaneous prayer is now an event? Wow.
Yeah, don't litter. Right? Because I didn't touch that.
If this is, in fact, again, people are in winter coats there and you can see hats. So again, I think it was an older video. Again, if I'm mistaken, I apologize. But of course, they've already got their tickets ready. They've already got everything pre-done. Just throwing them on the floor. That one officer physically manhandling that woman. I don't agree with any of that. In fact, I've said that when I do my run for mayor, should I take the mayor seat, I will have a very open door policy when it comes to City Hall and people's rights to peacefully enter the building and express themselves or express their discontent. Whether I agree with you, whether you agree with me, whether you don't agree with me, you have the right as a Canadian citizen to peaceful protest. And we're definitely not seeing that in Alberta. So those are the Calgary police. But here we see the RCMP, which again, outside of Calgary, the RCMP are the designated police service, as Calgary has their own privately funded police. But here we go with Alexa Lavoie showing breaking the RCMP march to face off with anti-carbon tax protesters on the highway. Now, if you know Alberta, this is just on Highway 1 exiting west of Calgary on your way to Banff or Canmore out in the mountains. As you pass Canada Olympic Park, it's about, I'd say 7 to 10 kilometer stretch up the road at a Petro-Canada gas station. Here we go. Let's take a look at the jackbooted thugs. Protesters. There's no audio here really, so we'll just mute this. But notice again, this isn't Justin Trudeau's Canada, where he says people have the right to protest. People have the right to peacefully protest. Of course, there's an officer with a camera walking along. Again, they're going out to make sure that nobody's out near the highway with their signs, because even if they're on the shoulder of the highway, they had orange pylons the day before. Of course, they could say it's a safety issue, but really there's the orange pylons there with the flags. They just don't want the message being portrayed. They don't want people to have the right to speak. In fact, I'd be curious to hear Danielle Smith's position on this, as this is the RCMP showing, well, we just don't like you speaking up. Somebody has complained, so here we are to shut you down. We're going to record everything so that, you know, you can't argue our excessive force that we're about to use. And let me tell you, it gets worse, and we're going to get into all of that, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I had plans to go down here today. Part of the problem, though, well, today, when I say at the time of filming, keep in mind, I am pre-recording this video. If anything has escalated further beyond what I'm showing you today, again, I will be reporting on that. We'll be talking about that here on the channel. And one of the reasons I didn't go to this protest is because, well, during the daytime, while my 2 children are in school, I still have my 3-year-old with me full time. And, well, I'm not going to expose them to politics or take them and risk their safety being at one of these protests. So while I do support them, here they are again at the side of the road. Now, this is a side road that goes off the highway if you're going to go to this Petro-Canada gas station. Here it says, watch, here's a look at the scene of the carbon tax protest outside of Calgary Highway 1 towards Banff. Police have pushed protesters off the highway, which has fully reopened, and formed a line. Again, the highway was slowed down from what I was told, based on people stopping or slowing to honk and support. There weren't really delays. It was just more slowed traffic. Of course, hashtag carbon tax protest. Here we go. Let's take a look here. So again, Rachel Emmanuel showing us, again, the line of RCMP, making sure nobody's near the highway. Of course, you can see them back here as well. Daisy Media, again, showing video clips. Tell me we aren't living in a police state. This is Alberta. Heavily armed police in riot gear with their name badges removed, lined up against peaceful Canadians protesting the national carbon tax. Not a single one of these officers will speak to the people they're lining up against. Here we go.
Holy, there's more. What's with this? I don't know what they're trying to prove or hiding from.
I think it's just intimidation, just to get people to move on if they can. But
is this the same? Or are
they
these
switched out?
Oh, did they switch out?
Every half hour or so.
Oh, really?
Or hour or whatever, yeah.
So any one of them never came talk to us?
Nope.
They don't talk to us? Hi. Would you come talk to us? No? God bless you. Would you come talk to us? Nobody wants to talk to us, so we just want to know what you guys are, what you're planning on doing. No? No talking to me? Us? God bless you. Did you want to come talk to us?
Your tax dollars will pay for that.
No?
You know,
God bless you.
They'll take a piece of muscle out of your arm or your leg.
Did you want to come talk to us?
Did you want to come talk to us? Like, do you really think that they would somehow...
Thank you. God bless.
That's what our tax dollars is paid for.
Did you want to come talk to us?
That's why our taxes keep going up and up and up and up.
Okay, can I get your name, at least?
And I want a penis. But our children starving to death, that's okay. Homeless people on the streets in Calgary with nothing to eat, nowhere to live, that's okay. But what those homeless people should all go and do is all go order up a sex change.
You want to come talk to us?
That's exactly what.
Because nobody knows what's going on.
Go get all the homeless people. Because you know what
well,
happened
we
to
know
the
what's
homeless
going on.
When we went into Ottawa, they all disappeared. No? There wasn't a rape,
do you speak
there
English?
wasn't a murder, and there wasn't an opioid death.
No?
The whole time the truckers were in Ottawa.
Do you want to come talk to us?
Woo! And what did they do? They pulled in $1 million.
Do you want to come talk to us?
Once the crime went down 90%. Then they hired $1 million worth of cops.
Do you want to come talk to us?
And you wonder why you got homeless people in your neighborhood.
Instead of listening?
That's why.
No?
We should put a few truckers in Ottawa and get this country up and running.
Oh, of course, the police there, if you can call them police, disgraceful police, not able to even make eye contact, turning their heads because they know what they're doing is wrong. They know that they're on the wrong side of this battle. And that's what's the most disgusting out of all of this is that I understand people got to, you know, pay their bills. People got to look after their families. But these officers don't seem to understand that if they just put their foot down and tell their superiors, I'm not getting in on that. I'm not going to be a part of that. I don't agree with that. If a very large percentage of officers took that stance, this would end immediately. At least that's what I think. Now, of course, you heard somebody screaming in the background making very fine points there that people are homeless on the streets. People can't afford to eat. Kids can't afford to eat. The government coming to the rescue thinking that, hey, we're feeding kids in schools now, but it's you've caused that problem. People can't eat in this country, yet you can go and say, well, I want to get puberty blockers or I want to chop off my bits, and that's okay. The government will pay for those things, but if you're starving to death, no. You want to petition for medical assistance in self-deletion? Well, government will pay for that too. But they won't allow you to work for a living and pay your own bills or look after yourself or come ahead. Here's another video from Daisy saying, how do you think this is going to end? Let's take. They're armed. They're armed. They have assault weapons. Aren't those illegal in Canada?
You notice at the movie theaters, there's no more Hollywood, guys. It's all reruns. You're lost. Investigate yourself.
I'm going to state is that I'm guessing that these are riot-style weapons by the muzzle of this gun. I'm assuming this is rubber bullets or something, but still very intimidating to see from these police. Again, these are the same police that we saw in the last clip, and again, the video is going to be lengthy, so I don't want to focus on too much. Of course, Marty up north heading up to the protest as well. Let's take a look here as he says replacements have arrived. Again, this dropped just before I started filming the video. Let's.
How's it feel to just be doing your job, eh? Just doing your job. Yeah, real proud. Just doing your job. Doing your job, bootlickers. Just doing your job. I get it. You're just doing your job. Famous last words. I'm just doing my job. Just doing my job. And look, these are the replacements just doing their jobs. And they took off their name badges. They don't want their names to be known. Just doing my job.
Marty hits it on the head. This is they've got their march off key. They forgot the goose stepping. They're missing some horses to trample people as well. Now, while this national carbon protest is going on, Justin Trudeau again has made various points to say, hey, people have the right. Let's try and put the dramatic voice on it. People have the right to protest in this country. Because it is a fundamental right for Canadian citizens and their Charter of Rights. Unless you're protesting the government. Freedom Convoy gets shut down because they're successful at protesting the government. While this protest is not nearly as large as the Freedom Convoy protest, well, they're still sending police out to stomp around and show their presence with their weapons and make sure that everybody's intimidated. Again, ripping off their name badges because the fact is that you're legally allowed to ask for identification, and an officer must identify themselves unless, of course, you're protesting the government. But hold on a minute, because you are allowed to protest in Canada as long as you're not white right? As long as you're not a Canadian citizen protesting the government, if you're protesting virtue signaling issues or issues that lead to money laundering to other countries, well, that's okay. That's okay. This one is very loud, so I'm just going to mute it and run it while we talk. Look at this. This was Toronto. There's a couple police here on their horses saying, hey, everybody get out of here. You don't see police pushing people around. You don't see police manhandling anybody. They're barely moving. They're not intimidating anybody. I don't see any AR-15 style weapons with those police. They're just on their horses saying, hey, everybody, look, there's cop cars back there. Nobody's moving. This is okay. This is allowed in Canada, right? Burning their flags, praying in the streets, stopping traffic, threatening harm. I've showed other videos where people actually threaten the police's lives. If they get, there was a man who said, I'll put you 6 feet deep if you get in my way, to a police officer. Nothing happened. And this is where the hypocrisy falls in Canada, is that the police will do their jobs when their superiors tell them to. But the police certainly do not uphold the law. They do not uphold the rights of Canadian citizens, and they certainly don't uphold the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. These police take their marching orders from those up top. It's disgusting. This tweet says it all. Oh, Canada, we've got a big problem. Or sorry, we've got big problems. I couldn't agree more. This is the state of our country. This is what happens when you try to talk out against the government, especially on platforms like this, when you try to tell the government you can't treat human beings like this, let alone tax-paying citizens. Again, as I said earlier in the week, I got a feeling this carbon tax is going to be a very heavy reported on subject as the week goes on, simply because it's the only thing people are outraged about, and it's everywhere as you turn around and look. Now, again, at the time of recording this video, should anything else happen in terms of escalation or police interference, again, I'll have more videos on this stuff. Let me know your comments down below. This is the state of our country. It's sad. Again, another lengthy video, but one that needs to get out there. This footage needs to get out there. Again, if anybody has any information on Dina and her being allowed near Parliament Hill, let me know in the comments too if you know anything about that. Because again, last time I was told she was trespassed from being at Parliament Hill again. Not sure where the borders are, but again, if it's your first time here, I hope the videos earned your subscription. Make sure to join us here on the channel every Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, for Friday Night Fringe, where we're definitely going to be talking about this. We go over a lot of what's happened in the week, a lot of what we know that's coming up next week, and some back and forth with the community. I look forward to chatting with you all then and seeing you here then in the channel. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day and stay safe if you're out there protesting. I'll catch you on the next one.